It's a random nice day, what the hell? I think it did say sun on the forecast, but cold. So I got out of my car just now thinking it'd be cold. It's not really. It's quite nice, and more to the point, the mist is burning off the valleys down there. I'll show you in a sec. And the air, like, it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell super fresh and like clean either necessarily. It's not clean, it's not dirty. It has a sweet smell to it, which smells like a mixture of the dew and the grass. We're at Surfboard Rock, little fallen waymarker. Oh, you can't even see it as much. There's only a couple minutes ago there was mist all in that valley. That must be burning off quick. I just walked up the hill and it's burned off. Yeah, it's nice. There's a tiny bit of wind chill on my ears. Not super strong. I am wearing a few layers, but yeah, my hands are being chilled to ice like the other day they were when I got out. And we're up on good old Blackdown, which I think it makes me want to talk when I'm up here, because I'm so used to talking when I'm up here. Like, almost all of my MoorRant videos have been from up here. Just been like, just go up here, talk to cam. So, mini life update stuff. Mini life update stuff. I felt like the other day that I was spinning lots of plates in the air, as in I was doing lots of different things. Lots of things were happening in life and to me, and I was spinning lots of plates in the air. I might still be, I might not, and yeah, there's lots of things all at once. Maybe I'll tell you about some of them. But it just felt like, you know, it's the metaphor of the people who keep the plates successfully spinning on the sticks. You get a stick, and if you spin the plate it will stay on the stick. As long as you keep going to each one and giving it a little spin, they'll all kind of balance on the sticks spinning together. Never tried that before. I guess that's something. I mean, you'd have to be prepared for all your plates to smash if you wanted to do that trick. I guess you have to. Can you do it with plastic plates, or is, I think weight must be a part of it. Anyway, it's a metaphor for keeping things going that could just fall apart, and keeping lots of them going at once, because I'm not very good at multitasking. I'm not so good at the moment. There's been a lot of rainstorms. There's been one particular big rainstorm that swept in, and it actually drenched the dual carriageway to the point where I was going in very deep puddles, and when I was on the dual carriageway there was a very long puddle I went into thinking, oh, I know how to control these now, they're easy, and I went into it at like near 70, and it swerved me, and I was like, I can deal with this, and then it kept swerving me a bit more. I was like, oh fuck, okay, I have to slow down. So I was driving home a bit slower on the roads. You know, way back I might have mentioned that in this new retail business I work for, I had a co-worker who I talked to me, called Renata, a Polish woman, and I think they fired her for her disability, which, yeah, and it sucked mainly because, well, first of all, you're not meant to do that. Second of all, you know, this was the main girl who talked to me. There was another guy who talked to me after she was gone, as another like top friend in the business who would always talk to me and be nice to me, and he's just left, and no one could really tell me why. Someone said, oh, he seemed happy enough the other day, he just apparently left. I feel like maybe he got into an argument with another staff member and then left, because I don't see why he would suddenly leave like that. So now I'm down my two main people who used to talk to me a lot in the business, and so I'm back to like more isolation, I guess. And there are a couple of people who talk to me the odd time every now and then, but they don't talk about anything like what's going on in your life, what's going on in my life, social stuff, you know. It's all work stuff, which is fine, but But they have got me working on the tills now, which means I can talk to customers a little bit more in a social way. I have that little aspect when they call me to till, which, you know, I didn't have that for the longest time in this business. Now they've let me on there, so I've got some kind of other social outlet occasionally, but it's not really good. That's a big thing that happened. A big thing out in the wider world that happened is the libertarian and anarchist versus conservative and rightist war, which I expected to break out at some point, has begun. I'm just sad that it, you know, it's the recent events in America that have launched it. The conservatives are finally finding, well, I don't know if they're finally finding out. They're finding out libertarians do not like them. The real ones anyway. They're still not finding out, still not understanding that we're not on the left. They think, oh, there's more leftists. No. We've been more anti-communist than you are, and you're closer to the leftists than we'll ever be. So it's like, they just don't understand. Like when you advocate for cops murdering people at random who haven't done anything, it doesn't really matter what political ideology that person is from. If they've not done anything, or if they use a gun even to defend themselves, it does not matter. And Trump, of course, as we all kind of know before, but everything's becoming a lot more blatant now, once again reminded people that he's completely against the Second Amendment and the right to self-defense via gun ownership in America. He's against his own constitution. He was going to an airplane and someone asked him to speak about one of his officers randomly killing a guy, which they've begun doing a lot more often now. And he's just like, oh, people shouldn't be carrying a gun. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Your entire country is based on this premise that all the citizens should be armed against your officers. What do you mean? So he's gone full insane authoritarian. I mean, he's not gone authoritarian, he always was, because he was anti-gun before, just not a lot of people noticed it because he banned bump stocks. So that was a thing. They got it unbanned. I think the courts or something, Supreme Court or something, got bump stocks legalized again for people, but he did ban them and they were banned for a period, and it was his choice that did it. So that's the outer world. Is we're all on Twitter. I made a video about it the other day with the ICE car girl Renee Good, but since then another guy, his last name's like Pretty, he was just murdered in the street again by these ICE officers, but who are just police officers, basically officers of the state, people who keep you paying taxes forever. That's their purpose. And yeah, the right and conservatives are blind to it, and they've gone a lot more insane recently as a result. And they think it's a two-front war, you know, right versus left, and it's really not, because they're ignoring everyone else who's against them. Look at these clouds. Next subject. I'm attracted to someone at the moment. I have a potential in my mind. I have a girl who I'd like to ask out. Thing is, it's difficult. It's difficult because they exist in a semi-popular place. I don't simp for them. I don't want to simp for them. I don't want to give them money. I don't want to big them up too much because they're a cute girl or whatever. They're a streamer, well, she's a streamer. When I say they, I don't mean it in a trans way. I know again, this is something the conservative right will do. They'll jump in and go, hold on, you just said they. That means you're calling everyone by trans pronouns or something. No, I'm just saying they as in that person over there. Like, don't particularly need to bring up a male or a woman unless it's really necessary. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. You can say they and it will mean the same thing. Anyway, semantics. They or she, whichever one you want to call it. Buzzard is up there. Can't film it because no zoom. Nice wings though. Nice patterns on the wings. She's not popular. She's not a popular streamer by any stretch. I actually met her through Harmful Opinions, and unlike many girls on the internet right now, which used to be completely reversed back in the 2010s, she talks a lot. She talks to her followers, and she even talks outside her stream to us. And yeah, because she's in this space of, she's not popular, but she has like, I want to say like 10 regular followers, like 5 of them seem close. She's a kind of a goth, she's a nerd girl. She's one of these alternative girls who's actually genuinely into like gaming sort of culture, tomboyish, so hangs with the guys, and as a result, you know, has some male followers. And so you can't tell how close the other male followers are. One of them apparently is taken, and she lives in the country, well, kind of in the country. Now, she does live in the UK. I'm phrasing this weirdly just to be purposefully vague so I don't dox anyone. And yeah, I mean, I could drive to where she is, and I mean, she's talking in a flirty way with me when she talks. But you know, it's just that worry you have is like, what are the friends of this girl you're interested in? What do they feel? Because I don't really believe in a girl can have platonic male friends sort of thing. An old friend of mine, a developer friend, he used to say this to me all the time, and it was back in the times when I was like, yeah, of course you can have male friends, what are you talking about, you stupid idiot. You can have male friends if you're a woman, who are just platonic and not like relationship or love or sexually attracted to you. And he was like, no dude, you're just naive, that doesn't actually happen. I was like, this is a weird view or something. Flash forward to now, I don't really know that guy anymore, but he was right. I was wrong. You can't be platonic with women. There's always going to be some element. It's just due to male and female biology and stuff that wants to date them and do everything else. Be with them. So just the fact that she's got male friends is just like, I have competition. It may be small competition, but I have competition if I want to date this girl, and I'm not used to having competition. I haven't in the past at all really dated girls where I'm competing with other men for their affections. Only a little bit with Jess, not at all with May, not at all with Sophie, not really with Dem, who's sort of like she was like a near girlfriend. Not at all with Natalie, for sure. So I know it's meant to be a big part of dating when you're out there in the world, like dating sort of girls who have slightly larger friend circles, I guess. It's part of like extrovert date. It's how the extroverts date. The extrovert guys date women by going into these competing male circles and like denigrating all the other men who are vying for the affections of this girl, like insulting them, and then going behind their back in private messages talking to the girl, going, do you really want to talk to that guy over there? He seems a bit like this. He seems like, oh, he's shady, but I'm not shady, I'm the best one. You know, that sort of shit goes on all the time. And it's a horrible aspect of social talk between extroverts. I've always hated it, so I've just never involved myself in it. And you know, with this girl, it's like you have not only are you competing with the other men who like her and know her, but you've also got kind of windows and deadlines, it feels like, for how long you can leave it before you interact with a woman and ask her out and say, do you want to meet up or something. So I just feel like I'm on a clock with this girl. I feel like either I can ask her out soonish, say within the next month or month and a half, or one of the other guys will snap her up. Because she's openly said on stream, like, I'm single. Like, she said things like, I have a porn stash, like, so she's sexual. And you know that all the other males in her chat, whether they're simps or whether they're not, will just be like, ooh, she's in this country, she has a sexual mind, she's a cute goth girl who's into games, she's not like the other girls who are all like girly and princessly, she's like more like one of us, she's all these things. I could also move into ask her out or whatever, and there's, you know, so there's a deadline of competition. But one thing I've noticed is since the feminism thing, a lot of guys, including myself, just don't ask girls out even when they've had lots of different chances, because they're afraid of whether they're a lesbian, afraid of whether they're an activist, afraid of whether they're a crazy feminist, afraid of lots of different things, afraid of all the things that women will do these days to like cancel you or ban you or censor you if you get the wrong woman. So I think if men aren't set at ease that you're not one of these things, then they're naturally timid and not going to ask you out, even if it's some OnlyFans porn girl or something who's going like, oh, meet a follower or something. Men will still be like, no, I don't think I'm gonna ask this person out blatantly. I might skirt around the topic a little bit. So I'm thinking like maybe that gives me an advantage if I do, but I think it's apparent to all the other guys that orbit her that she's not one of these types of women. So yeah, we've got a walker here if I can go around. So I've got that on my mind, especially because I think the other day she said she was gonna go to an event, like a nerd game event with a friend, and I don't know, it could be a friend from her chat, it could be one of these male orbiters that's around her, or it could be someone completely different. She was gonna go to that event on a Sunday and not stream, and then on a Monday she said she was gonna stream. She's not good at keeping to streaming schedules, so she's basically hardly on. She's on like once a week, maybe twice if you're lucky. But she said she made it like, I'm gonna go to this event with a friend and then I'm gonna stream on Monday to see you all again. And she didn't stream on Monday after the event. And which makes me worry and think, you know, because of this competition thing, that maybe one of these friends was one of the guys from her chat who liked her, and he went to the event with her and moved in on her, asked her out or something, after hearing recently that she was single in the stream. So it's just on my mind, like, did I miss my opportunity? Did I miss my chance? Did one of the other people that I'm in competition with ask her out in that time before me? Is that why she's taking so many days off streaming now? Because it's like well past that. Or is she simply just didn't want to stream, felt a bit like she wanted to do other things? You don't know what's going on in someone's life unless they explicitly say, and she's quite open about things. She does tell everyone what she's been doing and where she's been going and what she plans to do and things like this. Yeah, anyway, that's that. A bus is coming. Other things I'm doing, other plates I'm spinning. I booked a mechanic trip. I mean, the town where the mechanics is like closed down around me while I was in it the other night, as in there were road closures and they were happening while I was in the town getting shopping. So, and they were happening to the whole town. So I was driving around the town out to do some shopping, and I was getting trapped inside the town by people putting out road closure signs, and other people were getting trapped too. Like, I rolled down the window and talked to a woman who was driving around, and she was like, oh, can you get home? I can't get home. I've got to replan my route. I don't think I'm going to get home now. Oh, by the way, back down behind me where you're about to drive is also blocked off too. And I was like, I have to go down there to turn around anyway, but thanks. So I've had to phone the mechanic and say, listen, when is the town open again so I can get to you? And it's like in a couple of weeks. So that will hopefully fix my weird warning sensor things on my car dashboard that keep going oil pressure, and there's a check engine light on there, which is like false because it's about a secondary water pump. The fact that there's a check engine light and it's blaring at me about something falsely means that when there's something real to do with the check engine light, it will not tell me, because it's like masking, like the shit fake problem is using the check engine light, whereas the check engine light is also turned on by a variety of other things that can go wrong with the engine that might happen, and the way the car will tell me is to try and put the check engine light on, but it's already on from this false thing, this false reading. So I have to get that fixed for that purpose rather than just keeping it how it is. Yeah, I also have a dentist trip thing. I haven't got the dentist trip. I need to book the dentist trip for a root canal type thing. My teeth have gone back to being alright though. Oh, it seems quite sheltered here. Nice. Got some big gorse. I'll hang here for a bit. Something I still need to book, and it'll cost me like $1,000. Then there's an insurance thing I have to pay at some point. I think that's March. And I think February might be road tax. And also my work gave me like a forced holiday. Like, I was just wandering around stocking shelves and stuff. My supervisor comes down and goes like, "You're on leave for the next week, aren't you?" I'm like, "What? No." What's going on? He's like, "No, yeah, you are." And I'm like, "What? Nobody told me. Are you forcing this upon me and not even telling me into the last moment? Because it's literally next week." Yeah, apparently last year I was accruing holiday days and I didn't even know it. And because I didn't book any, they thought I just wasn't going to have any. I wasn't going to book a holiday for whatever reason, so they just forced me to have one. It's so weird, dude. So I didn't know I had holiday days that I could book, and they've just forced me into an automatic holiday. I thought I was going to be working next week. I kind of wanted to be working next week as well, but I think you can't tell them no. So yeah, that's interesting. I've got a week off that I don't know what to do with. I also wanted to move around my days, so I had a block of days where I was working in the week. Because currently it's like, I'm on work for a few days, then I'm off, then I'm on, then I'm off. I never like that setup when you're in a job, so I wanted to move one of those days so it's like, I'm on work for several days, then I'm off work for several days. And then that takes my block of holiday or day off days in the week that I've got and puts them together with each other, and it puts my work days together with each other, which means I have more continuous days off to actually do something with. And then when I'm on work, I know I'm just on for a while. It's gonna be an ordeal I have to deal with for a bit. You know, work is work, and then it ends, and I've got a fair patch, oh god, a fair patch of time on and a fair patch of time off, and it's not like this weird mixture where it's too sporadic and you can't really do anything with it. So yeah, is that all the plates I have spinning in there? Is that all the things happening, or are there more things happening? I feel like there are more things as well as that happened upon me. Oh yeah, I'm doing this isn't something that happened to me, something I chose to do, and I've almost finished. Obviously this is something you guys are seeing, the Western Line documentary. I have all my raw footage at last. This is sort of a landmark thing for my YouTube channel in a way, because it's like, when did I start? Years ago with my dad. I started walking Dartmoor out here and bagging the tours in the west, and I drew out an area of these are the tours in the west. It's not on the maps, my area, it's an area I've created from the maps that is roughly splitting Dartmoor into 3 vertical columns: the Western Line, which is what this focuses on, the Central Line, and the Eastern Line. If you want to know about the Eastern Line, check out Max Piper's book. He's only written one book, so it should be easy to find. I can't quite remember the title, but it's like Eastern Dartmoor's lesser known tours and something, and it shows you sort of each one and a rough guide to where it is and how to get to it and what it's like. I'm doing a similar thing in video format. I have all the raw footage. You may have seen some of my episodes of the Western Line. That's not complete. It may have looked like I did some and then finished doing some. I'm actually redoing episode 1 right now, which is taking more work than I thought it would, because I realized like I accidentally went somewhere I wasn't meant to go at one bit, and that changed the whole route and approach to several other tours. So I have to redo the narration, redo the maps that you zoom in on, redo where some of the footage is. At one point I didn't even include in Zone 1 Fatherford Rocks, which is the most north tour of Dartmoor. I hadn't even visited it when I made that first episode of the documentary, because I didn't know it existed. And then I did, and then I went and saw it. So I have to add an entire new tour. and I'm gonna have to do that for all. There's currently 13 episodes in total. There's like 21 episodes when I've done them all, and I have to use my time and footage to do that. That's another plate I got to keep spinning in the air. Yeah, there's a bunch of weird things happening right now. It's suddenly weirdly busy. Anyway, that was a life update for you guys on this quite nice little day. The grass is a little bit wet, but it actually wasn't too bad to walk on today. Trying to dry out. Probably going to be unsuccessful because more rain's going to come later in the week. Swamp it all again. Alright guys, catch you all later. Thanks for watching.